All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be, just an extension of what we did last time. We mentioned different file systems, So today, competence of file system, why do you even need to understand this? Okay, number one is the file itself. Okay, now the other one we treated was more like um the configuration of file system. So there are two ways of understanding this file system. Okay, in this case now, what we are trying to do today is understanding in terms of hierarchy and organization instead of configuration. So you have file as the smallest, like you know how you have cell, tissue, organ, system, how you have atom, sorry, molecules, atom, and all those kind of things. So here again, if you look at number one, two, three, you see that number one is files and directories. Number one and number two are related. So files are the basic units of data. So you cannot have anything that is less than a file in a system. If I send you a picture, what I'm sending you is a file. That's the common term that is used. So I want us, we don't need to overthink it. Okay. Uh-huh. All the files will be contained in a folder, and this word folder and directories are used interchangeably. Okay. In some parlors, you are going to be using folders. In some cases, you are going to be using, please, there's really no much difference between folders and directories. But when you come to Windows, okay, the directories are like your my documents, downloads, music, videos, and everything. But in essence, if you look at it, they're actually folders, but just call them special folders, right? Then inside those ones, in music, now you can store like Christian music, you can store reggae, you can store jazz. So you can create folders for each of these. Again, you can equally use the term directory, instead of using folder. So if you look at number two, directories contain this are containers that house files. Simple. Every other thing, they enable the hierarchical organization. Hierarchical means something is placed above others. So there's this parent-child relationship. That's the whole idea of hierarchy. Now, number three and number four, okay, is coming with another dimension, meta. Okay. Whenever you hear metadata, you understand, it's actually crucial information about something. See, I don't want to narrow down to, for instance, ICT. For instance, if you are buying a generator, there will be metadata that comes with the generator. Okay, so example is if people like what's their name, Suzuki or Yamaha is producing a batch of generator. Okay, that particular badge will have metadata. Okay, number one, which date of manufacture is a metadata, right? The country of the manufacturer is a metadata. The country, the spec of that particular generator is a metadata. Do you know why? They are the same across boards. So if I produce 1 million units of that, those 1 million units will have that particular identity because they came out from an assembly plant that has batch processes. Now, after manufacturing 5 kVA, I might decide to go up to 8 kVA, So the manufacturing processes will change, the robotic arm and everything that's doing will change. So that next batch will be 8 kVA, no longer 5 kVA. So there are, when you buy any equipment, right? Sometimes you can refer to the spec as equally the metadata. Okay. So when you have metadata, please don't you know don't overthink it. When you buy a generator, look at the body. A lot of things are written there. Okay, consider that if you want to kind of understand in a simpler manner, consider those information as metadata. Okay, but there are other data variable. Okay, once you deploy them, okay, for instance, the runtime of the generator. Mr. A buys the same generator, Mr. B buys the same generator, Mr. C buys the same generator. Even though they all have the same metadata, if Mr. A is running his own 2 hours every day, Mr. B is running 5 hours every day, and Mr. C is running 15 hours every day, you know, vibration, temperature, and everything will start changing. So these are variables. Now you're no longer referring to metadata. The generator has started changing. Some of them might be careless users, some of them might be careful users, some of them might not be changing the oil, some of them might be changing the air and everything. At that point, that is actually kind of another set of data they are gathering. Okay, so I hope you understand. So whenever you hear meta, okay, let me just read what is here. Meta contains crucial information about files. So you can see I have used generator now to explain it. So if you have those about files, okay, such as their sizes, right? Creation dates and permissions. Okay, it plays a vital role in managing and securing your data. So, and you know that sometimes when you download music, you'll be wondering where the picture of the artist came from. You just downloaded the music. When you are playing it, probably using a device or VLC, something comes up like it is actually a metadata that when that file was being uploaded to the internet, like comes along with it. If it is Fela, you can see Fela's face, but he never downloaded Fela's picture, just downloaded the music. So there are these are I'm just giving you the examples of metadata. Then the last part of it is file paths. Okay, file paths addresses, the idea of where exactly is the location. It's like an address. Okay, just refer to it as an address. So having talked about this, okay, these are the components of file system. Now, in the last week, we talked about drives, directories, folders, and files. So why did I bring it back to this week? Because we are going to do some of the command prompts right away, and we are going to practicalize some of them. So again, in the hierarchy now, in this particular discussion around file system, we are going to be more like referring to hierarchy. So you have drives, okay? I explained drives the other time. We have a lot of drives. We started with A and B, which is the likes of magnetic tape and floppy disk. That is why today drive C is always where you start from, because our current internal drive, whether it is SSD or whether it is HDD, is referred to as drive C. Okay, so from there you can begin to allocate other letters to any other thing you attach to it, be it external hard drive, be it a flash. Okay, so that's the drive. Then under the drive you have the directories. Directories contain the folders. Folders can contain more folders. Directory can contain more folders. Okay, after that, the lowest, remember we just mentioned the lowest part is the files. Okay, the files, you can only run the file because the files are, executable. You can use any of the application software to open the files. So beyond files, there's no other lower distance. So I just demonstrated this, last week. You have drive C. Under drive C, you have users, exactly the same spelling. Other users have three files, but I'm interested in Mr. Lawrence. Then in Mr. Lawrence, I'm interested in desktop, and I'll go to desktop. So this is like the file part. Now, for the likes of Mac and Linux, you're going to be having forward slash. Okay, so I just have to make that. For those that are going to DevOps now, you go there like I thought Mr. Lawrence said. So this is for Microsoft, operating system. We're going to look at all that today. So we looked at Windows Explorer. I introduced the concept of tab. So what you see here is the home tab. Then this long thing under the home tab that is covered with the red outline is referred to as the ribbon. Okay. So please, this is concept. You're going to see it more often. Sorry. So you're going to see it more often. After the home, we have share. You can see share will have its own ribbon. The ribbon are not necessarily the same length, depending on the content of the ribbon. So you have your view. View is another tab. You can see view contains more things. So you can see under the view, you can you can test all these things on your own. Like you can change the the size of the icon, whether it's going to be large, small, or something. Then you can introduce what we call preview pane by the right hand side, so that when you click on a file, you see the preview. This is where to activate it. Details, if you want to see details of the file. So all these things you can sort by alphabetically. You can group. You can add checkbox so that you can check more than one file in case you want to carry out action on more than one file. So Now, Windows Explorer, this is the basic. When you click on any Windows Explorer, I want to run you through it. You're going to see like three arrows. Let me start from the arrows. Okay, can anyone hear me? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Somebody dropped a chat. Am I very audible?
Yes, sir, you're very
Okay, okay. All right, so we have these arrows, right? So let me just, the labels are there. So we have a back arrow. Back arrow simply means you are going backwards to where you are coming from, not necessarily the parent folder. Because look at on your screen now, from here that I am now, I'm in downloads. If you check the address bar, you see that I am in downloads, right? But you can see by the left hand side, desktop is showing. So if I click on desktop, it means I am jumping from downloads to desktop. So anything that is appearing at this left hand side, desktop, download music, picture, I can go directly to that place. Okay, meaning that I can use the back arrow. So when I use the back arrow, what it means is when I use the back arrow, I'll come back to downloads. So it doesn't respect the path. Okay. So the back arrow and the front arrow is previous and next. Okay. It means previous folder from where you came. Okay, or the next folder where you came back from. So you can go back and forth. But when you want to go to the parent folder, you use the up arrow. Okay, so if you are a folder like you are in jazz under music, if I jump from here to music and then click on jazz, I'm not going to jump back to the folder. So I am going to what? Just go back one step to the parents. Remember, we talk about hierarchy. So you are going to go to the parent folder and then, access that particular folder. So you can see this is what we have. Then by the left hand side, you see directories and folder. That's why I say directory slash folder. I say sometimes they can be used interchangeably. Okay, so having said that, you can equally see your search bar. So these are simple Windows Explorer. It's not difficult to understand. Okay. Um, so these are examples, right? You can see this is a typical Windows Explorer. I am currently on my desktop. Okay. You can click on PC. You can see, when you click on PC, see it here. Let me just annotate it. See it here now. That's the PC. I clicked on it. So under PC, you now have all these drives. Okay, drive C. So you can click on Lawrence's folder. You can see. So when you click on any folder, what you are seeing here is the folder I clicked on. So a minute, please. So somebody's interrupting my. Okay, so sorry about that. So you can click on any of these. What I'm showing you is simply your CLI. Okay, your CLI. You can jump. I know some of you have never used this one. uh, I'm going to talk about this when we reach, the networking part. You know that in a company, someone can actually set up a server and bringing it for the first time. This is one thing that many people don't know. So you can set up a server, and buy a system that has limited resources in terms of RAM, in terms of storage device, and everyone in the company, banks do this a lot. Banks don't want you to store a lot of things in your local system, so they will give you a login. The server will be somewhere. When you log in with your account, what is actually computing is not you are just having a screen, and you see it a lot in the banks, and the keyboards, right? The networking guy has already set up everything. There is a server room that everybody is using. So you don't have your own, you have your own limited resources. That's what I'm saying. So there are words that are going to be sharing, things like thin clients, thick clients, and everything. Example of thick clients is your laptop. Just a concept. Thin means it's thin, like little. So you have maybe small RAM, you have they use this a lot in secondary schools, so that they don't have to buy full desktop for each student. They can buy thin clients like 40 and have like 2 servers that are running. So in that thin client, you might not have to install Windows there. You can install Windows in the server, okay? In that case, you might install a Windows server, not normal Windows OS that you have in your system. That's why you'll be able to give everybody what we call admin account. No, user account, not admin account, sorry. Give everybody user account. When you come in, it is as if you are using your own system. You understand? So it is actually running in the server. So the server has enough resources. The RAM is high to kind of accommodate the number of clients. So that's why the word client is used. Client simply means a server. Just see server like a waiter. Clients are like people that are coming to eat. So when you are a client, you access the server, you use the server. So the server is serving you what specifically is serving you what in computer language is called resources: compute, network, and storage. So I just want what brought about it is this slide you are seeing. Everybody can check your system, you see it, but probably you have not used it before, right? It just means that okay, what you are seeing here specifically means that I have set up 2 servers. Okay, there are 2 servers I can access here. Okay, I have network, or it's not really a server, sha. I have network to another computer. Let me use that smaller, simpler term. And the way I'm seeing this computer is the way anybody that is connected to this computer will be seeing it. So that is why sometimes you go to some printing places or photograph or something, they will take you picture, they will tell you to go to the accountant because everything is connected to the server. Because they don't want the person taking the picture to be the one that will do the costing, and they don't want the person that is doing the costing to be the one that will charge you. So everything is running. So when the person, they have a way of setting up, you see, these are the kind of thing that you can actually, I am not going to teach you everything, but now I'm saying it, you know that it is possible. You can this night just go to YouTube and even know more than I do. I know how to set these things up. And this can actually distinguish you in your own firm. Okay. You set it up and give various accesses so that, okay, the photographer is done. He takes it to the accountant, or somebody, the editor. The editor will edit finish. You say, choose the picture. You send it to the accountant. The accountant will already receive it because everybody is working on the same system. And then you pay. So the person that takes the picture will not have access to how many picture and how the costing, and will not have access to when you pay. You understand? Then when you pay, the person has seen, the person on the POS, point of sales, has already seen the number of pictures selected on the other desk and will be able. So now I'm telling you these things that are possible. These are, when you talk about system administration, that's basically what it is. Knowing all this configuration and all that. So you need to understand, okay? That's the essence of DAIPODS to get to know how the system works, even the area you have not worked on. I need to just create awareness so that I can trigger your curiosity for you to go and in search of some of these things and use them very well. Finally, control panel, I'm going to touch a bit on this. This is another area where you begin to distinguish users and real users. When you go to your controls panel, you can equally search it. Okay, click on your window. If you don't want to go through all this hassle, Windows has made it very easy. Click on the search. I've talked about search button. Okay, click on the search icon, one icon, just type control panel, it will come and click on it, it will open. Simple. Don't overthink it. See, this control panel is where you begin to have edge over other users of the system. You can see conspicuously here, you see systems and security. There are a lot of things you can set up here. So I'm bringing it to your notes. Nobody's going to teach you all these things, right? You have your network and internet. You see all them setting up your network, whether it is LAN or WAN or wireless in terms of Wi-Fi or Wi-Fi. Then you see hardware, all the things about your sound, all the things about your printers, scanners, and everything. That's where you take care of them. Programs, how you check the programs that are running, optimally, the one you need to remove. So if you install a program, if you want to remove the program, of course, you come to your control panel as well. That's where you can uninstall the program. You have your user accounts. Now you might create more user accounts. I have 3 children. I'm not saying like Lawrence has 2 children. I have 3 children. I don't want them to be quarreling. I can create accounts on my desktop in the living room and give each of them um, login details and password so that nobody will use any other person's account. So the question is, where do you do it? The answer is here with you. Come to the control panel. You can set all those things up. Appearance, of course, you want to now put some effigy, whether you want to be dark mode, light mode, all those things, changing your color, putting your own picture as the background color and everything. You can equally check your time and region and access control. So let's look at some of them because I just had to take the pains to do the screen. I, I can't be doing this thing because it's going to waste our time. If you choose, like, look at what I'm trying to do now, right? This is where our control panel, right? Let me go to user. Like I said, if you have multiple people, you can see where, if you open that first part, you can see where you can click that arrow. It shows that from here, where's my mouse? I can't see my mouse. Okay, so you can see here, can see it. If you click add a new user, then if you click on it, it takes you to this. You can see this plus. You can add a family member, set up their passwords, so that they can log in. Okay. You can equally go to, adding. These are where you can add someone else to this PC. You understand? So when you click on this one, rather than just adding locally, it will take you to Microsoft 365 online platform. Okay, for those that don't have Microsoft accounts, okay, there's a difference between this account and Microsoft account. Microsoft account simply means that just like you have your Facebook account, Yahoo account, and all those things, you can go to Microsoft and create your accounts. When you create your account, that account will be giving some things like a storage spaces on OneDrive, just like your Google Gmail. You have your OneNote. You can test Office 365 when you want to probably test it and all that. So I want you to take notes. Power BI and a lot of them. So Microsoft now is no longer just, it used to be entirely offline stuff, installation and all that. But now a lot of things have changed. So let me go on. That just to mention it. Now the second part is region. You can see that clock and region, date and time and everything. You can see a lot of things. When you click on it, you see you can change your language. Okay, I'm using English United Kingdom and all that. Why is it important? The language you are using, that Americans, they put the month first. So when you go to Excel, this is this is another thing, depending on the format that you choose. Okay, 5/2 can mean 5th of February. It can equally mean 2nd of May. So you have to be careful. When we get to Excel, I will explain this thing. If you are using America and you say 5/2, okay, while you are referring to 5th of February, you are going to be wrong. Sorry, if you are using British is day first and then the month second. So if my intention is 2nd of February, it should be 2/5 if I'm using British. But if I'm using American listing, it should be 5/2. So, I'm going to demonstrate that when we come to Excel, by the way. So, anyway, so what I'm trying to say here is the settings will probably have their own different listing. Now, hardware, okay. Remember, let me take you back a bit. Everything is coming from here, or everything I'm explaining now is control panel. Okay, just to show you certain things that other people don't know. So this is where you can check whether the printer you are using is installed. Okay, check every single hardware IO, input output devices that is connected to the system. Remember, I mentioned they were peripheral, so it wouldn't like be a surprise to anybody. Now display, you can come here and increase the brightness in case you don't know the button of, you go to control panel, you look at this, you see adjust commonly used mobility settings. You see, you can see sound, you can see your battery, you can see the displays and all that. So most of these things are in here as well. Other devices that are connected, to your this thing like printers and so on. So having said that, okay, I am not here to teach you everything about control panel. So today, this Windows spelling is wrong. So today, we are going to look at, okay, that's what I promised today. We are going to look at some of the interfaces. Some of you are doing UI UX. That I is interface, right? We are going to look at some of the interfaces. There are two major interfaces. So I'll do this one the next time. I'm going to jump it because I don't want us to lose the main thing that we are here. So this is where I stopped. Okay, so I need to kind of we need to delve. I promise we are going to write some codes today. So please get your systems ready. We are going to, it's going to be a practical class. Okay. Just to show you people what's the difference between a GUI and a CLI. GUI means graphical user interface. Most of you, that's the one you are familiar with, both in your phone and in your laptop. You have this very attractive, colorful icon. You click on it, it opens, you click on right. Even when you are using websites, okay, yeah, you are merely using GUI, right? Not CLI. CLI, command line interface. Also, in some cases, it is called terminal. So these are terms you need to start taking note of today. Okay, command line interface is equally referred to as terminal. There are also some terms that are used interchangeably sometimes. I'm going to look at all of them today. So let us go to CLI, right? What is CLI? Now, the real thing begins today. CLI is called command line interface. It is a text-based interface used to interact with a computer by typing commands. Simple. Command line. Okay, so it provides that terminal. I'm going to be repeating this word until you start getting used to them. It provides that terminal for you to be writing command line. So terminal like a black screen, blue screen, white screen, depending. Okay, you can configure them as well. Unlike the graphical user interface, which uses icons, buttons, the CLI requires users to what? Type text. It's typing. Like I told you before the invention of the mouse, the earlier users of this system, they normally type most everything, all their commands. In fact, the correct users of the system actually use more of the keyboard, even up to today. I don't know how many serious American movies you've watched where you see them using mouse. You always see them, CIA, all those kind of things, see them typing, typing, typing. It's real, though. Nobody's going to, like, as you grow in your career, you're going to see that you are going to be requiring using more of these terminals. And that's why I have to introduce it so they don't think that, oh, everything is all about clicking. There's a place where clicking is fine, like, but don't have that misconception that it is always the optimal method. No, you are going to see the reason why. Okay, a DevOps guy, by the time you are using something like Amazon Web Services console, somebody has used the command line to do times 50 of what they are supposed to do. I'm going to show you very soon, don't worry. So let us go to some of them. Types of CLIs. Now, you need to know, understand this is a course here. Like you need to like understand some of the terms that are used in tech today. Okay. Now, number one is shell. You'll be hearing shell, shell, shell. We're going to take time after this slide. We're going to break what is shell down. Okay. Shell are mostly used by system administration. Sorry, administrators. Okay, used for system administration. Yes. Scripting. You see, these terms are coming in small. So I'm going to explain some of them. And automation. So whenever you hear of shell, the tasks that are supposed to be automated is easily done with, by CLI under the shell this thing, especially for Windows or remove system there and sorry, remove Windows and replace it with system. So Mac OS administrators, Windows administrators, Linux administrators is system administrators. You understand? So sometimes when they are troubleshooting some of the things that happen in the company and everything, you dare not use mouse. If you're having an issue, you see them, they will come to your system, they will open this black screen and start typing, and they will solve your problem for you. You are not a system administrator, so that's fine. Now there's another one, command prompts. That's the one we are going to start off with today. It's specifically for Windows. Okay, so Windows has its own default terminal that when you install any version of Windows, because that was the original Windows, like sorry, the original Microsoft OS, you understand? So they have not discarded it. So whenever you install, you're going to have command, and we're going to look at it today. Then you have Git, okay, used for version control. I am introducing this thing because some of you are going to be what interfacing with agile products that we are going to be changing. Like a customer is going, agile simply means that there are going to be changes along the line. You're going to be adjusting. Okay, change this, change that. You're not going to, pull down the website after doing the whole thing, pull it up. So there's going to be what we call version control. Most of you would have heard about GitHub. Probably you would have been taught about GitHub. So what is happening there is that you are using command line, okay, to pull, push, merge, and all those things, right? So there are special terminals also that are used for things like that, okay? So they call it Git CLI, okay? Some people call it GET, JET, whatever, but it's GIT. I don't care about the pronunciation. I don't care about what it is used for, right? You have Git bash. You can equally use command prompt as well. Then there's what they call PowerShell. Now, PowerShell is a new, Microsoft has decided, okay, it's like this command prompt is becoming outdated. Let us be. So PowerShell is equally being owned by what? Microsoft. You are going to see it here. So there are other CLIs like command line interfaces. For data engineers, they are going to be using more of this database CLI. So you are going to be having MySQL. MySQL simply means my structure query language, Postgres, MongoDB. So they have their own what CLI, command line interface. You go to have programming language, right? This one, everybody, most of the software developers will understand this one. So you have some of the run times that come with their own Visual Studio. You have Python, Node.js, Java, and everything. You equally have the cloud. Cloud is similar to system administration as well, AWS. So instead of having your own local CLI, AWS platform also provides you with their own um what's it called, terminal. They call it terminal. So please, I want you to start noting some of these things. You hear terminal, you hear command line interface, you hear shell. Some of these things can be confusing at times, but there's no way after this class you'll still be confused. So they have equally the ones that are used by networking engineers. So you have ping, command, netstart, SSH. SSH is secure shell. Yeah, secure shell. S means secure, then SA means secure shell. It's actually used for you to remotely access a system, of course, that you have the credentials to and permission to access. So all these things I mentioned now, you can see, you cannot understand the relationship with command lines. Sometimes you hear something like integrated development environment, runtime. Please, gradually these things will become clearer as we move. So let us look at let me just jump on this one. Okay. I'll come back to that because that's how we're going to end today. But let us look at scripting, okay? What is the concept of scripting? Is that scripting is simply connected to what I explained before about abstraction. So you script on a shell, right? Now, it is the shell that is responsible for, saving you from that hassle of understanding low-level language. Okay, so shell comes in between, and that's why the name shell, like, is protecting you. So if there's any simpler way of understanding it, if whenever you remember shell, not in the terms of tortoise or turtle or snail, but if you come to programming languages, if you picture that, it will help you to understand it. So it is shelling, it is helping you to have. So look at this slide now. You see, while bracket open, n is greater than. See, this is what a human being can understand. That's why they call it high level language, because that's the language you understand. Sum is equal to sum plus n, blah, blah. When you continue this thing, that's what you are. If they're teaching you HTML and CSS, Python, JavaScript, that's what you do. But that's not actually what is running at the in the computer. Does not understand all those things. So it has to be compiled, interpreted, and then converted to what? The ones and zeros, as you are seeing on the slide. So let us look at how scripting, because we have started this journey, we are going to be building on what you already know. How does scripting connect to this thing? Scripting refers to writing a series of commands, okay, in a file to be executed by an interpreter. Are you seeing it now? It has to be executed by an. So what you are typing is the high level. Interpreter will have to what execute it. Especially when you're talking about automated tasking. Okay. When you are creating a lot of tasks that has to be automated, you can write a script that will be repeating that process in such a way that you don't have to come back and be giving command and be repeating it again. So you write a script. Okay, I hope you are following me. You write a script. For instance, if you are trying to do a movie, you understand? You sit down, you don't have to wait for all the actors to come. You write the script from beginning to end, and then they will start auditioning. When they audition, okay, you see, the person that wrote the script, he might have written the script a year before the movie is even produced. But guess what? Call that script like an automated, sorry, if they are doing cut, action, cut, action, cut, action, it means that there is a script that the actors has to stick to. You understand? So the person that wrote the script might have even gone for holiday, but that script is what is working in the scene, okay, where they are shooting. So that's what we are. I hope it's very easy to understand. So when you hear scripting, most of the time it is a little bit different from, just, but it's equally connected to programming language. So there is little thin line, but it all needs understanding. A script is essentially a small program written in a scripting language to perform a specific function or automated processes. Whenever you remember scripts, please have at the back of your mind automation. Okay. Now, types of scripting language. You see, now I am changing the dynamics of this definition. Scripting languages are categorized based on their purposes. Okay. I have mentioned shell before now. Okay. Shell scripting, they automate, commands, especially those that are executed in operating systems. Example is bash and PowerShell. You can equally have web scripting. So you can see scripting now can equally be, extended. The concept of scripting can be extended to other languages. So they create dynamic web pages, for instance, JavaScript and PHP. There's what they call automation scripting, automate workflows, something like Python and PL. Then there's equally configuration management. Okay, when you are looking at clouds, infrastructure, okay, and managed services, something like Ansible and Terraform. Sorry, I am not, it's beyond the scope of this class. I don't need to tell you what Ansible is and what Terraform is. Because I begin to confuse everybody. So just know what you need to know here is that there are scripting languages used for different things. That is enough. Okay. Now, if you look at that picture, you see why I was talking about shell. So the application you are using, okay, might not be sorry, the application I'm using is protected from the kernel because remember I mentioned kernel before. That's why I introduced it. So when you see it now, nobody will be asking, what is kernel again? So the app user, example daemon, you can actually write your this thing, and the shell provides you with what the command line interface so that it will help you to transfer whatever your intentions are in the command to the kernel, and the kernel will now work with the what the compute resources to give you exactly what you want. So now let's go to shell proper. Okay, Skisa, what is shell? This is what it looks like. Okay, a shell is a command line interface. Please, you can see a shell is simply what a command line interface that allows users to interact with an operating system by typing commands. Okay, because we are going to do one today, which is like what's it called? Command prompt. So the shell interprets users' command and execute them. There are several types of shell. You have born shell, okay. There's born again shell, as in bash is whenever you have bash, you're going to have like bash scripting. It's actually an advanced form of shell, born shell. Okay, born is a name of a person. Okay, born again means it's not like born again Christian. You can see the spelling there. Is another like a revised version of born. That's the bash, and most of you will be using that. The other one like Z shell, C shell, and K shell. All right. So let us talk about born again. Okay. Bash scripting is the process of writing sequence of command into a file, in brackets, scripts to automate repetitive tasks. You keep on hearing automate. If you don't remember anything today, just remember automated repetitive words, tasks. A bash script is a text file that contains bash commands, English, and can be executed like a program. So step one, create the file. Step two, add the script to a container. Step three, give execution, give the permission, then run the script. That's the simple step. Please don't cram this stuff, okay? Why do you use bash? Automated, of course, management of operating system. You can see now I am referring to operating system. So I am moving away. The CLI I'm talking about today, you understand, if you notice, born again shell, I started by talking about different, I now narrowed down to shell. I'm not talking about born again shell. So I am today, this particular lesson is about application and operation. So I am not going to start teaching you Python, JavaScript, and everything. There is a track meant for that one. Okay, so this is more like operational things. I think it's going to be more useful for those that are into probably system administration, or those that want to develop their career there. Okay, so then the DevOps will use it. So I am going to come back to virtualization, okay, because this is a concept that everyone should know. Because today's world, I cannot teach you DAIPODS without telling you about virtualization. But for the meantime, okay, I wanted at exactly 3, we'll begin to do CMD, and I can see by my time it is 2:56. So I'm going to just give me, I'm going to unmute now, I'm going to pull up the resources for that one. Then probably if we have enough time today, I'm going to run through virtualization. Please, this virtualization is very important. Don't joke with it. Okay. I need to take you through what this means. And remember, I've actually mentioned cloud in the first lesson. I'm going to bring back cloud, and I'm going to connect it to what this virtualization is. I'm even going to take you through the journey of how to probably do virtualization in your local system. So I'm going to just give me some time. When I come back, I need to make sure I need to settle something. I'm having some repeated calls. Just 3 minutes, still be on the call. I'm going to come back and we'll go straight into writing commands on command prompts. Just give me a minute. Sorry, let me just thank you. Yeah, so it's 3 o'clock. Now, today we are going to start with command prompts just to show you, I want some of you to get familiar. You might be writing codes now, that's fine. But I want all of us. Do you need this? Not necessarily, but it might be important for you to just get familiar with it. So what we are going to do now, I think I will reshare my screen so that I will share the main screen. Hold on. Okay. Can you see the screen now? Someone should confirm, please.
Yes.
Okay, so what we are going to do, this is Windows system I'm using, and that's the OS I'm using for this class. So if you notice at this bottom, you see all the things I mentioned. This first three or this first four is the first session. Then from here, you see all the task bar. This is status bar. This is status bar, and then this is the system tree. So the system tree. Okay, first of all, when you want to launch a command prompt, okay, there are two ways you can do that. You can use your search button. When you click on the search button, okay, just type CMD. It is called command. That's command CMD. You see CMD, you are going to see this like this, okay? Now, look at what I'm going to do. There are two ways I'm going to open this. I'm just going to click on this one, okay, right? That is what we call left clicking, just clicking on it once. You see this thing will open, right? Now, if you look at it very well, it might be tiny. You're going to see um, user Lawrence and all that. Okay, let me close it, right? Okay, let me just leave it open. Let me leave it open. Let me repeat the same thing again. I'm going to click on search. I'm going to type CMD. Then instead of just left clicking on this, I'll right click on it. And when I right click on it, just look at what happens. You are going to see run as administrator. There are difference between the first one. Okay, let me click on it now. You will see it's going to give me do you want to allow the app to make changes? You say yes. When I say yes, this one will open. I want you to notice the difference between the two. Okay, the first one is showing me C. Okay, then you have user, you have Lawrence. This second one now, I run as an administrator. It's showing me C, then it's showing me Windows and then System 32. You can see this is the root folder, right? And if you are running as administrator, you have all higher privileges. This other one, you can see, is just a simple user. So most of the time, you might equally want to run this thing as an administrator if the computer belongs to you. But there's what they call IAM, identity and access management. Okay, Um, we are not there yet. You can actually set some privileges, okay, so that you can control your information and your documents. Those that don't have, you can classify them, those that don't have certain privilege will not be able to access certain files and folders. So what I just demonstrated now is the difference between running your command prompt ordinarily as a user and then running it as an administrator. Some people don't know this, but I'm showing you this now. So one thing I want us to do, okay, I want us to, let me use administrator. Okay, I'm going to close this other one. Okay, so we are going to start our this thing. The first thing that I want us to do, please, I hope, even if you are not probably doing exactly what I'm doing, just pay attention, take your pen and paper, and probably start noting some of these things down. Of course, the call is recorded, and I'm sure, you can. Sorry, hold on. I think there's a way I can increase this. Sorry, can you see my screen now? I want to confirm something. I need someone to speak.
Yes, you can hear me, sir. Your, you can see your screen.
Is it magnified?
Yes,
Is
sir.
it zoomed in? Okay. Okay, I wanted you people to be seeing what I'm doing. So it seems like I have to manage it this way. Let me do a quick search. I need to know how to increase. Alternate alt plus space P. Oh, okay. That works. Okay. All right. So this works. Thank you. I want you people to be seeing it very well. All right. So we're going to start. So when you have this, right, the first thing you need to do, what I want to do now is, please, I want you to click on your Windows button and open a file explorer like you are seeing here. And when you open file explorer, I want you to click on C. Okay, click on C. I want to place them side by side. Okay, yeah, I want to place them side by side. So why I'm doing this is that whatever I'm doing here, I want us to see if we can look at them here as well. So having done that, the first thing we are going to do is that assuming you want to start, so go click on your Windows. Here, mouse does not work. That's one thing you should know when you are in CLI, command line interface. Mouse does not have anything here. So it's all about your keyboard. So the first thing you do is, let's say we want to open another window. The first command I want to teach you is start. Okay, start. You, you type start, enter. See what is going to happen. You see another window has opened. Okay, right. So that's the first thing. So you can open multiple windows. I can equally type start again. Okay. So some of you now you begin to understand why this this is fast. You can see before I go and right click and open, do DOS command and all those things, you will notice that I would have wasted a lot of time. But you can see just typing start does all that I have to go here, click on this, right click, run as administrator and all that. If I have to repeat those tasks, so you begin to understand why sometimes this prompt is better. You can see I can open 6 now. Okay, so just calculate the speed someone will have to open this window using the very fancy command line and using your mouse. You can see I've opened 6 of them. If I want to end, all I need to type is exit. Sorry, you type exit, enter, it will end it. Here I'll type exit, close it, I'll type exit, close it, I'll type exit, close it. I'm going to type exit here as well, and it left me with this first one. So I don't want to end this one. So that's the 2 commands I've given so far. Okay, exit. Now, if somebody is asking me, oh, my system has this problem, what is happening and everything, I don't know what is going on. Like, as a senior person, please don't go and start using mouse. Open your command prompt. First of all, what you are going to see is, let me even see the system info. So everybody type system, not capital letter, please. System info, enter. It's loading, it's loading. It's going to give me everything about this system. Now that this big font is no longer working for me in this case. uh, so the system info is going to give you, look at all the information, okay, by just typing system info. Okay, you can see the host name. If I try to kind of configure my name here, You see the version of the system of the Windows is Windows 11. The version, the company that manufactured, you can see Microsoft. The type of OS configuration. This is a standalone OS. Standalone simply means like it's not a server. Just take it like that. OS build type, processor free, registered owner is Lawrence and everything. You can even check the virtual memory, all those things about the system. You can see all the compute information. Physical memory 16, this is a 16 gig RAM. Okay, available physical memory 3 point something gig, virtual memory, and all this. So you can see um the time zone and everything. So this is one of the things. What did I type again? System info. Okay, so there's a Hyper-V requirement. Okay, you need to look at it. Do you need an extension? You can see this is yes, means I can install a hypervisor. That's what it, well, let's not get there. We are going to come to hypervisor very soon, and we are going to look at it today. You're going to know what hypervisor is. So, well, this is not to distract you. What I just typed for this thing to come out is system info. Now, if you want to look at whenever you type anything, you see that at the end of the result, because whenever you type enter, it will give you the results immediately beneath it. Okay. At the end of it, you see that you see another cursor blinking. Okay. It's waiting for you to type the next prompt. So what you are doing, so the idea of prompt did not start with AI, prompt engineering. There has been a command prompt before now. So when you type in, and that's how they kind of adopted that name. You type something in, it gives you the results. Okay, you prompt it, you wait for the outcome, you prompt, you wait for. So that's how we interacted with the system in the olden days. So let's look at another. How many commands have I given now? One, I've given start, I've given exit, I've done system info. Now let us look at network, some things that have to do with network. So internet protocol. So type IP, okay. Type IP config, okay. Internet protocol configuration. So enter, okay. You will see other information that is there as well. Yeah, somebody is asking about people using Mac. Maybe I can organize a different class where I will talk with them. This if I can get hold of a Mac system. Yeah, there is this thing. What's it called? The CLI share also in Mac. Must it be capital letters? Somebody is asking. I don't think so. See, anything you just try it. You understand? Try it. If it doesn't work, then okay, so it's not working on my own. Okay, we wait for answer. Then go to terminal on Mac. Yeah, but the stuff I type here are not coming out. What did you type? Start. I think it's just Windows that have started. Even system. Yeah, please. I'm focusing on Windows. Sorry. Just pay attention, right? I'm going to probably compile. It's very easy. All I need to do is go to ChatGPT. I'm sure I will be able to compile. I will give Windows command and ask ChatGPT to give me Mac version of it. This one I like the world I'm living in, man. Things are very easy these days. Okay, when you type sorry, let me continue. When you type system config, it's going to give you IP, not system config, sorry, IP config. IP simply means night protocol. It's going to give you everything, MAC address. You see IPv, I taught people about IPv4 and IPv6. There's what they call subnets. Man, a lot of things. Don't worry, we're going to talk about subnets when we come to the cloud. Um, you have your wireless LAN adapter and all that. The information is given here. So this gives you every information. So somebody might be asking, what is the MAC address of your device? Don't quarrel. Don't say, okay, don't worry. Show that you're a big boy, a big girl. Just say, don't worry. Open your prompt, come and say IP config. Everything will come out. You see your MAC address and all that. So Let us now start making use of this system, right? Let me try and see if I can increase the font. These fonts, I hope it will not. I don't like this one. It's too tiny, and I'm not sure people are seeing it. Let me go to 18. Okay, it's not bad. Let me see if I can stretch it to 19. Oliver Twist. All right, so 19 fonts. So there's no 19. I have to type it in. Okay, so let's manage this. I think it's a bit okay. Let me see if 20 will work. Nothing much different. So now what we are having here side by side, okay, is I am showing you the CLI on the left and then the GUI on the right. So whatever I do on the left, you should be able to reflect on the right hand side as well. Okay. So okay, yeah. I see a lot of interesting interaction. So what we are going to do now, let us start. Okay. The first thing, the first command any person can teach you in CLI is what they call CD. CD means everything small letter. CD means change directory. Okay. Change directory means I want to move from my location to another location. So now you can see that I am because on the left hand side, on the right hand side, I click on look at the C. You show me what is on the C now. Okay. So I can change directory. Okay. But before I change directory, where I am now, what are in the please pay attention to the left hand side. If I want to know the content of the current directory, because you must be in a directory, okay, when you are working with system, especially Windows. So dir, okay, is a command that shows you the current directory. So if I click on enter, you see a lot of things are here. A lot of things. It's still running. Okay, it is much. So under this system, it's showing me because I'm in every single it's showing me every single file that is here. Okay, it has ended. Okay, now one thing I want to teach you here, I purposely did this thing because before I go back to this thing, you can see I will scroll. Please, you don't need to do that. Okay, one thing you need to learn in command prompts. Now check my look at the screen now. If I want to go to the previous command that I typed, okay, please look at your keyboard. You have up and down arrow, and I am going to touch the up arrow once. You see, I am seeing dir, which is the last command I gave. If I tap up arrow again, you can see ipconfig. If I press up arrow again, it's going to give me system info. So there is history of commands that I've given since today, since this session. It is storing it for me somewhere. So if I wanted to do system info again, I would not have to type it myself because I know I've done it sometime just now. I just have to use what up. Remember, we are not using mouse. Okay, use up. So I've come to system. I will now click on enter. When I click on enter, it will repeat that same command. You can see it will give me the system info. You understand? So you can use up and down. System info, start. You can see I am now in start. Okay. So another thing that we can do here, I want to teach us today is when your command prompt window, this terminal is clogged up with a lot of information. Typically, like my own, the next command I'm going to teach you is CLS, which is clear screen. Okay. If you type CLS and enter, I have a fresh brand new screen that nothing is there. Okay. That doesn't mean that if I type my up arrow, you can see if I keep on typing my up arrow, everything, even though the screen has been cleared, if I want to do start again, you can see this is the first. If I keep on pressing up arrow, I'm not going to get any other thing because start was the very first command that I gave. If I click on enter, it will start a new screen for me. Okay. Yeah, so let me just exit. I think capital E will work here. It's not working. So exit, type full exit. Okay, capital or small letter, it doesn't matter, it will work. So now having said that, you can see gradually how many commands have we done. We have done start, we have done exit, okay, we have done system info, we have done IP config, we have done clear screen, then we have done up, down, and then enter. These are buttons that you press, up and down arrow, and enter. So, and yes, I've mentioned CD, change directory, but I've not actually used CD. And before I use CD, I've actually mentioned the last one I mentioned is DIR. So I don't want to do DIR, okay, under system 32 because there are a lot of information there. I did it specifically to clear the screen because there's a lot of information and I want a fresh screen. So now what I'm going to do now, okay, is to go to what they call root folder. Root folder is what I have on the right hand side here. That is my local drive C. Okay. If you look at the left hand side, you're going to see c.slash. I told you in the last class about file path. And file path, you have only colon when you are when you are referring to the drive. So what is the command if I want to go to the root folder, which is my drive C? I have to use what? Change directory. That's CD, then space, okay, backward was slash, okay, CD space backward slash, okay. I will now click on enter. If I click on enter, you will see that the next line is just showing me c.slash. Now I am back to the root folder. Again, CD, you give a space and then backward slash will take you to the what? Root folder. Root folder is the highest hierarchy. Okay, so I'm now in drive C. You can see that's why it's blinking there. So, ladies and gentlemen, if I want to find out the content of this drive C, I'm going to bring back that command I say dir. Dir simply means directory. So I'll type dir, enter. Okay. Now, please check what is on the left hand side and what is on the right hand side. You will see that left hand side is CLI, right hand side is GUI. You can see the folder Intel, you can see the folder perflogs, you can see the folder program files, you can see another one, program file x86. Okay, you can see that what you have on the right hand side is the same thing with what we have on the left hand side. So we are now in our drive C. Okay, now if I want to open user, on the right hand side, what I'm going to do is that I'll come with my mouse here. You can see, here's my mouse. I'll come with my mouse. What do I do? Everybody knows double click. Okay. When you double click user, you see what is going to happen. It opens Lawrence Akubo and then a public. If I want to do it on the left hand side, okay, please, what I'm going to do is what? CD, change directory, then space. Okay, you can see user there. Please don't make mistake in the spelling. His first letter is capital, that's a uppercase U, then SER, then S. So change directory to user, say equals, I would say enter. Now you see what has happened now. Okay, it's showing me C dot backward slash user. It means that I am now in the user directory. If I want to see what is on the right hand side, I'll simply type DIR, enter. So when I type DIR, enter, you see what I'm seeing here. Okay, let me clear screen. So that's clear screen. Okay, then I'll use up arrow. I'll bring back the last command, CLS, no, DIR. So DIR was enter, then click. Now, you will see that I have Lawrence, I have public. The other side, you have Lawrence, you have public. So if I want to open Lawrence Akubwe, right, I'm going to double click on the right hand side. It's going to open the file. Okay, see all the files that are under Lawrence. If I want to do it here, okay, since I am in Lawrence already, I'm going to say dir, enter. Now I am still in Lawrence, I've not opened it. So if I want to open Lawrence, let me clear screen, CLS, enter. If I want to open Lawrence, what I'm going to do is change directory into what? Lawrence. So I'm going to say Lawrence, then enter. You see, now I am C user Lawrence Akugbe. So if I want to know the content, I will now say dir, enter. Now everything on the left hand side is what I have on the right hand side. So you now know the concept of, directory. So two important commands that I've given now is dir and cd. Cd is used to enter into a directory. You can even use cd to come out from a directory, but I'm going to say that one, very soon. So you go in, you come out, and all that. So the next thing you are going to do now, let me clear screen. I always like clearing the screen so that it will come up again. So now, if I want to enter desktop, are you seeing desktop here? Okay. On the right hand side, all I need to do is double click on desktop. Okay, I've entered desktop now. You see classwork and everything. On this side again, what I'm going to do is what? Can somebody give me, let me look at the chat. What do people think I should do if I want to open desktop? Please type it in the chat. Let it be. Let me make sure that some of you are following. If I want to enter desktop from Lawrence, what should I type? I need to see answers on this screen, on the uh, somebody say desktop. It's not desktop. Oh. It's not desktop. The first person got it, but the first person, please, you made a mistake. Oh. Who does say CD desktop? Yeah, that's close, but there's a mistake there. So let me show you guys what you should do first. Now, I'm in Lawrence, but I am blind. I don't even know what, even though you are seeing it, like, let me go back a bit. The parents folder. You can see here, you can see desktop clearly. Okay, you can see desktop is here clearly on the GUI, but here desktop. So what you do first of all, you can say dir. So dir will show you first of all what is listed, not only what is listed but how it is spelled. The first person got it, person that says cd space desktop, but where you failed is that, look at this now. Okay, if you check desktop, you're going to see that the D is capital. And if you don't do it like that, you might not. I think the file names are case sensitive. Okay. So that's it. But you got it. I like it says CD. So I'm going to clear. Let me clear screen and follow your this thing. So I'm going to say CD space. Okay. Desk. Capital letter D. Desktop. Sorry. Desktop, enter. Now it has entered desktop, right? So let me double click on desktop here. Okay, this one will show me, you can see all the folders and files under there. So you have classwork, DAIPODS class, and all that. So here on the left hand side now, if I want to see the content of desktop, I will do what? I will say dir, enter. Now you see all those classwork, DAIPODS, this. I'm still going to kind of show you some of the things, okay, that we'll have here. Okay, someone says small letter works for me in the command line. Okay, let me try it though. It's good. These things, let me go back. My own is not working. It's saying the system cannot find a path cannot find a path specified. So I don't know who is this? Hold on, I don't know how your own works, but you can see what is on the screen. Anyway, that's by the way. I just want to make sure that so okay, maybe I have to step back. Maybe okay, there's no desktop. Okay, I'm already in desktop. Okay, hold on. I'm already in desktop, yeah. So let me even use this opportunity to teach. When you want to step back to the parents folder, okay, take down this command. Type cd space dot dot. Okay, cd space dot dot. Then you click on enter. Then let me try that desktop again. The command I gave. I had this one. Okay, it works. Yeah, you are correct. So it worked. So the next thing we are going to do now, we are going to use what we call I'm going to go back again, cd space dot dot. Okay, I'm going to go back. Now I'm back to my Lawrence Akubwe. Now let me say dir. Okay, enter. I want people to notice that here I have three things that start with D: desktop, documents, downloads. So what I'm going to do now is show you how you can use the first letter to find out any of them. So let me clear screen. So if I want to say CD, I will say CD, then I'll give space. When I type D, you can use your tab button. Tab button is the button on top of caps lock. Okay, you can keep on tapping it. It will be changing all the file names that start with D. So what I'm doing now, I'm tapping on it. So I typed only D, but I don't want to, I'm lazy to complete the whole thing. So if I wanted to go to documents, I will go to documents or download. So because all of them starts with D. So if you know the first letter of the file, you need to yeah, Windows is not sensitive. You need to start tapping on what we call the tab button. The tab button is the button above the caps lock in the keyboard. Okay, so I'm still going back to the desktop. I will now click enter. Now I am in desktop. Okay, so what we are going to do now, let us look at some other commands gradually. Okay, and then you notice that there is really nothing difficult here. Okay, so having entered the desktop, the next thing we are going to be doing is let's look at creating files and all that. So let me start with creating a folder because it's a folder that will contain a file. Now I am in desktop, right? So I am going to create a folder. This is why, okay, I told you people that sometimes the command line is faster. I'm going to prove it now. If I'm to create a folder here, look at what I'm going to do. Either I right click first, you can see, then you go to new, that's the second step, then click on folder, third step, and then I'll give the folder a name. Let me call it law 1. Okay, enter. This is what everybody knows how to do. Okay, now if I want to make a folder called law 2, look at what is going to happen in the command prompt because we are in the same location. What I'm going to do is the command that is used for this is make directory. So mkdir, okay, I'll give a space. I'll just call this second, I'll call it law 2. Okay, I'll call it law 2. Enter. See, I've done it. So you see this step I took. So I want people to begin to understand why they say sometimes command prompt is faster. This thing I clicked here, new folder, this one. What I did, I just typed make directly space law 2. Look at it here. It has created that folder. Okay, so if I want to enter law 2, all I need to do is what? I've made it. I'll say cd. Okay, I'll say cd space. Then I'll say law 2. Enter. I am now in law 2. If I say dir, nothing will be there because I've not created anything. Yes, there's no, everything is zero. The file is, number of files is 0 and all that. So if I want to move back again, remember it is cd space dot dot enter. I am back to desktop. So the next thing we are going to do now, okay, let us create a text file, right? We are now in desktop. For you to create a text file, you are going to call it echo. Okay, you are going to call it echo, right? So you say echo is just like repeat after me or something like that. So I am going to tell you to echo. Echo is spelled ECHO, okay? Echo, then you give space. Please, space is part of the command here. You understand? Space is part of the command. If you don't give this space, it might not work. Okay, so I'm going to say hello. Now, when I say echo, I can give space. This space now is no longer part of the command, right? So it's going to take whatever I write here. I say hello, KodeCamp. Hello, Code Campus. Okay. Now I have echoed it, right? If I click on enter, you can see it repeats it for me. Anything you echo is just like repeat after me. Let me echo something again. I'll echo the second thing. Echo brackets, how are you? Enter. It will echo it back. Look at it there. How are you? Right? But does it make any sense? No. I think we can put this thing, instead of echoing it back on this same command prompt, why not put the echo in a file? Okay. I'll clear my screen again. Let's start afresh. So for me, I'll repeat the same command. This time around, I'll say echo. You understand? Then it's like, what do I want to echo? How are you? That's what I want to echo. Okay. Then in this case, I'm going to use put it in. No, don't echo this how are you to me, but put it in a file. So I'm going to use the arrow, okay, forward arrow. I'm going to give it a file name. Okay. I'm going to call it probably the file name should be test. Let me say test one. Okay. Now I need to put the file extension. We are going to talk about extension. No, we have already talked about file extension in the first listing. So the extension for this is txt. Txt means it's a text file. It's going to be stored in WordPad. So txt, enter. So what you notice is that why I did these two screens is that whenever I do something, I want to check whether it has happened. Let me go down. Okay, look at it now. It has created. Okay, let me use view. Let me increase the view so that you see. Let me use large icon. So now I'm using large icon. You can see it here. It has created test one. Look at it. This is what I just used command. If I open this file, okay, what I wanted to demonstrate is that how are you is the text that will be inside this file. So instead of echoing it back to me on the command prompt, I'm telling it to echo it into a text file. So if I double click on this, okay, let me see what will open. Now you can see I've opened this. Let me go to edit. So you can see the how are you here. So I created a file, put it in a text, and call this how are you. So what have I taught now? I just taught you how to use forward words arrow. Okay, that's the only thing I added here. So let me minimize. So you can see echo, whatever you want to echo, then use forward slash, then give the file a name. So it's going to store it into a text file, right? So now on this desktop, now if I do dir, you see that something will now be there, it will no longer be empty. Sorry, if I, yeah, is it on desktop? Yes, it's on desktop. Sorry, hold on. What file am I in? Okay, I'm in desktop. Okay, so okay, something has been in there. So if I did, somehow, yeah, I created law1, law2. You can see txt1 dot test1.txt. So I've created this document. So I'm going to clear screen so I can start afresh. So sorry, if you're using Mac, remember that this backward slash and forward slash in your own, just to make that known. Okay. So before I forget, because I'm running out of time, I want to make sure that I teach the important things today, right? So you can use what we call absolute file paths, but that is very dicey. Okay, absolute file path means you know the exact location where either you want to create, okay, a directory. Okay, so you can start with C. You start with C, then move to user, move to Lawrence, move to desktop, then move to law1. So all the 5 parts must be complete, right? So you can now say the same idea, echo, right? When you say echo, something like this, okay. Echo what? Let me just say hello. Okay, echo hello. Now, in this case, I'm going to say forward arrow. In this case now, I will do a complete file path. That's what they call absolute, because I know that. So I'm going to start with capital letter C, semicolon, backward slash. Sorry, this is backward slash. I'm going to go to users. Okay, backward slash. Okay. Lawrence Akugwe. These are real part. If I make any mistake, to give me an error. Now I've reached Lawrence Akugwe now. I want to echo this thing, okay, into a text file, okay, into a text file. So under Lawrence, I'm going to go into a desktop, right? I'll say backward slash again. Don't stop at Lawrence. I want you to access desktop. If you make a mistake in this absolute distance, it's not going to work. Now, under desktop, there is a file called law1, yes, sorry, law1. Then I'll say backward slash. Okay, now inside that law1, create a file called test2. Okay, test2 dot, what is the file type? TXT. Okay, I'll say enter. Now, let us go to this side and see what has happened. So I'm going to go to desktop. I'm going to see law1, open it. Let me open law1. I am not seeing anything. So that's the problem with absolute desktop slash law1. Okay, let me go back. Let me go back. echo user. Did I make mistake in the spelling of any sort? I am not seeing the results here. Hold on, let me see DIR first. Let me check here first. So DIR, enter. Then CD law 1. Let me check this one first. CD law 1, enter DIR. There is no file. Let me say echo. Let me just say something. Echo hello 2 into tests test3.txt .txt, enter. Ah, this one worked. uh, so see, there is danger in this absolute value. Let me clear my screen first. I don't know why the other one did not work. So this CSC3 worked. Why didn't this work? Echo this into TXT. Honestly, this should work. C users Lawrence Abube desktop. Okay, let me just. Okay, please let's move on. But this is the syntax. If you want to do absolute, absolute means you actually know the file, the file path specifically of where you want to create this thing. So I don't want us to miss because I need to end. If I come to the next class, I won't. This is already 53. I won't be repeating this CMD. I will go to the next thing. And I wanted to teach you. Please, we might overshoot the time today a little bit because I want to make sure I finish this whole virtual machine thing. So if I want to move further, please, that's a copy. Copy and like copy means I am going to move means I am going to copy, uproot, like delete it from the source file and then take it to somewhere else. But copy is taking it, leaving a copy of it and moving the duplicate to somewhere else. That's what it calls. So the command there is what? Copy, right? So now that I'm in law 1, let me copy, let me copy text, this particular text file that I've created called test3. Okay, I want to copy test3 and then okay. So the command that you're going to use there is simply what? Copy. So type C. Okay, copy, just normal spelling of copy. Remember to give your whatever called there's space, then you type, make sure that the spelling is correct. Test3 is what I'm copying. No, let me use capital letter. That's what I use. Test3, okay, is what I'm copying. .txt, remember to put the file extension. .txt, I give capital .txt, .txt. Then give a space. Okay, then let me even like duplicate it in this particular folder before we start copying to somewhere else. I'll give a space and now call it text3b. Okay, test3 B. Okay, dot what? So this is showing you how to copy and paste in the same folder. So this I did, if I click on enter now, okay, you see on the right hand side, you're going to have test 3B. So I have created, that's how you can say I've duplicated this, two of them, okay. I've duplicated test 3 and I have a test 3B. If I want to have a test 3C, again, I'm not going to type everything. I'm going to click up arrow and then I'm going to come back and put C, okay, here. If I click enter now, it will create another one for me. You can see it here is test 3C. So this is how to copy. Now, if I am moving it to a different folder, okay, you can use what? The same, this thing say copy. Okay, what are you copying? Test 3, test, okay, 3, that's just test 3, okay. Copy test 3 dot txt. That's what I'm copying. Where do you want me to copy it to? Okay, I'll copy it to another folder. Okay, I'll copy it to another folder. In this case, law 2. Just say law 2. Law, am I in law 2 or law 1? Okay, yeah, I'm in law 1. So copy it in law 2. 1 file copy. Ah, oh, I'm supposed to arrow. How am I doing, sir? So copy it to, I'll use arrow. Okay. Now CD. I hope I'm not going to make mistake again. CD absolute. I want to try this absolute part again. Okay, please just pardon me. C. That's drive C. Backward slash. Why am I making this mistake? Users. Okay, users. Yeah, it's correct. Backward slash Lawrence Akugwe. Lawrence. Gwe. Backward slash. Oh, thank you very much. Somebody HP. Somebody say HP. Oh, it's law 1. Oh, I see where I'm making mistake in the absolute parts. Sorry, let me go and repeat that particular command. It's now that it is clear. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go back. I want to show you people something. See where the problem is, ladies and gentlemen. Look at where the problem is. This law is wrong, and nobody noticed it. I am typing law here. That's why that one was not working. It's supposed to be, there's nothing like law. There's no command. Highest, it will even create. Let me check whether it created. If there's no command like that, it will create it. Okay, it did not create it because it doesn't even exist. So I did not make direct record law, but it's supposed to give me an error. That's another thing. So sometimes when you even make mistakes, it will not prompt an error for you. So I'm going to put law equals let me say law 1. Okay, then enter. Okay, let me go to law 1 now. So that's the problem. Okay, that's the problem. So you're supposed to have made sure that's, see, the problem with absolute part is when you are not sure of the absolute part, please don't use relative part. Relative part is when you are moving up and down with your dot dot. So I'm going to teach something about relative parts. Okay, so let me go back to this one I was trying to do. Okay, this is copy this text 3 into, this is supposed to be forward arrow, law 2. Sorry, I'm supposed to start with C, backward slash users, backward slash Lawrence Way. It is time, ladies and gentlemen. Backward slash. Just forgive me. I'm just going to just give me 10 minutes. I'm going to round off. Backward slash desktop. Sorry, I have to go to desktop first. Desktop, then backward slash, and now with Lawrence. Somebody is asking, can you see it into a flat? Okay, hold on. Just give me a minute. System cannot find the five parts. Man, this I know. Sorry, I always make mistake in this absolute five parts. The system cannot find the five parts. So please, when you are doing this, I'm rushing. Sorry, you have to kind of take time. You will get it. Don't mind me. Um, please, another thing I want to do is move. Please, another command is move. Okay, before the time runs out, please, this is how, let me go back to the root folder. How do you go back to, okay, before we go back to the root folder, how do you go back one step? I've said it before, is cd space dot, okay, dot, okay, you enter, see, you move back one space. If you want to move back a couple of steps, you can see I'm in desktop. There is C, there is user, there's Lawrence, and there is desktop. If I want to move from this desktop where I am now back to user and jump in Lawrence, this is what you do. Okay, that is very important because I don't want to miss that. Okay, so you're going to say cd. Now it's no longer just going to be dot dot. You're going to say dot dot, then slash another dot dot. You're going to move up. Dot dot is one step, then slash another dot dot, slash another dot dot is the number of steps you want to move. Okay, please note this. cd space dot dot, one step, slash what, another step. If I say enter, you see where I am now. I have jumped Lawrence Akugwe. I am now back to user. Please take note of that. Okay, that's how to jump. So you now know the number of steps you want to, you know, go into. Somebody was asking whether you can see the into a file. Please just give me a minute. Let me just ensure that the common, because I don't want to miss anything. So one thing you can do is, everybody, there's another command I want to show you people called tree. Okay, three kinds of, it's actually like a dir, but just type it tree. No need to explain it. Three, enter. Okay, see what is happening now. Three will give you, I for not done for this file. Okay, it's finished on time. So we can see Sorry, one of my microphone died. Thank you for prompting me, Mariam. So, text 3 dot, sorry, what I did was okay, let me delete again. So I kind of started from this, went to Lawrence, went to desktop. Now I'm in law 1. If you look at the right hand side, okay, if I increase the icon to large icon, so I still have 3 files here, text 3b and text 3c. If I want to remove text 3b, what I said is that the command to remove this thing is del, okay, delete, that's the command. Then you're going to say text 3b, okay, text 3b dot what, txt this thing. If I click on enter, it's going to remove text 3b. You can see it has disappeared there. That's what I was trying to do. Okay, but to delete a folder, you will not use, just like somebody asked, can you do cd? You cannot equally use delete for a folder. Okay, in folder you remove a folder. Okay, so let me go back and delete law 1 as a folder. So I'm going to do cd dot dot to move back step 1, so I can go to my desktop, enter. Now I'm in desktop, right? So I'm going to use my right hand side to go up 1 step. So you can see this law 1, okay, is showing here. For me to delete this law 1, I should not, the command is not delete, the command is rd, remove directory. Rd, okay, space, I'll say law 1, enter. The directory is not empty. Okay, now if you want to remove a directory that is not empty, now what you are going to do, this is an opportunity for me to teach this thing now. If there is any command, like you can see, I said rd law 1, it tries to delete it is remove directory for folders, but del for files, right? Now it tried to do that, but he has realized that the directory is not empty, so probably the rd is for files that are empty. If you want to get help, and that is the reason why I want to use this and teach this particular thing, right? If you want to get help to read the documents, okay, of how a particular command works, and this is why I'm teaching it, because nobody's going to teach you all the commands. So I'm going to share a file with you. So what you are going to do is you say rd, okay, is the command, okay, but this time I'm going to give space. Then in this case, it's going to be /?. So this is how to tell you, please tell me everything I need to know about this command called rd. When you see enter, you see it's going to give you everything. Okay, so you can see this documentation. It's called documentation. You can see RMD. So you can equally use, instead of RD, you can use RMDIR. Okay, that's the first distinct. Okay, part. Now /s, remove all directories and files in a specific directory in addition to the directory itself. So you can see the reason why the first one did not work for me is because I didn't put /s. So I've gone to the document. Okay, how is this thing used, right? You see another one. If you say rmd that file space /q is going to be quiet mode. Do not ask if okay to remove directory or not. Just go and remove it, because sometimes this thing will ask you for confirmation of what you're about doing. So I'm going to go back, clear the screen again. I'm going to go back to the last command I did. So remove directory law 1. I'm going to now say space /s, enter. Are you sure you law 1? Are you sure? So I'm going to type y. Y is yes. You can say either type y or n. So you can see that quiet mode means delete it without asking me the question. Hello, you can't hear me? Hello? Somebody saying that they can't hear me. Please, somebody should talk. I'm seeing a chat on the. Okay. It was before.
We're hearing you.
All right. So you type Y and then enter. You can see it's the, look at the right hand side. The file is that folder is gone. Okay. So let me try and remove which other folder did I create just now. Okay, I see lot 2 here. So let us remove lot 2. In this time I'm not going to use RD because they said RMDIR still works. So let me test whether it works. So I'm not going to say RMDIR space. Then I'll say lot 2. Okay. Now in this case, I'll do quiet. So delete it. Then I'll say S first, okay, /S. So even if there's any folder inside it, delete it. Then I'll say /Q. That's quiet delete. If I say delete, don't ask me whether I need to delete it or not. So when I click enter, it has worked. You can see by the right hand side, the thing has gone. Have you seen it? So that is the essence. If you want to learn about any of these commands, okay, move. So you can stay move. Okay, I don't know much about move, but move is a command. Move, okay. I will now say space /. Please, whenever you are trying to find out information, it's / this time around, not backward slash. What? Question mark. Enter. It's going to give me all the things I need to know about that command. You can see it is why I'm showing this. It is impossible for Lawrence to teach you all these things. Okay, it is very impossible for me to teach you all these things. So I'm going to really end here. Okay, I'm going to end here. So you can see I am going to share this. You can see there are some commands here. I've compiled some commands. I'm going to share it. It's going to be shared on the channel. But please, now that you know how this thing works, use more of your help. Okay, the command space / the question mark. You can know more than Lawrence, even by this evening, tomorrow morning, and all that. Okay, you will know more than Lawrence about this. So I want you to go. I'm going to share this with Ike. He's going to share the. These are some of the commonly used this thing. So no problem. I'm going to end here today. I've already taken 15 minutes. It's already 4:14. So apologies for taking 15 extra minutes of your time. Thank you very much. When we come next time, we are going to do the virtualization and virtual machine. Okay, the DAIPOD does not have rush. If I rush it now, it's going to lose the value. So I think the one we have done today, go and play around. I think with this now, you will be confident to even watch a YouTube video. That's the truth. I just want to spoil you guys, to ignite the burning passion, to give you confidence enough to show you that these things are not, they are not so difficult. You understand? You can start playing around certain things, even learn the one I've not taught. Tomorrow, I'll be glad to even learn from you. There's nobody that knows all this tech stuff, but our job is to get you guys up to speed. So next time, I'm going to go into virtualization, virtual machine, even show you how to do some virtualization, and the DAIPOD continues. So this is actually a lot. We are still going to do Microsoft Word, we are going to still do PowerPoint, and then we are going to go into information management, and then we are going to bring in Excel. This is actually a period where you can brush yourself up gradually, no rushing. I hope this thing is just well taken. It is deep, but I try as much as possible to make it simpler so that it wouldn't sound, very strange to everyone. So thank you very much for joining the class. We are going to see you guys same station, same time next week. Bye bye.